Hello, everyone, and welcome to our PowerTime practice here at Pillai Center. Astrovid, wishing you all a very warm welcome. My name is Sucharita, for those of you who don't know me. And we have Rod here as well on chat. So it is Saturday, June 19th, 2021. And it's a power time this weekend to honor the Father. It's Father's Day coming up tomorrow, Sunday. And it is also a great time to honor the spiritual father. Dr. Pillai is our guide to prosperity, enlightenment, to take a deeper dive into the purpose of our life, why we're here. Not only were we here to experience karmas that we have carried over in lifetimes, and then we're born into a certain gene pool, and through our biological father's grace and blessings, we are here to clean up some of those mistakes that we have made. And then we want to find out a super way to do it with grace and ease. So that's where the spiritual father comes in. And the spiritual father, meaning Dr. Pillai, or any spiritual teacher who you would consider your father. It could be a god or a goddess. It could be Jesus. It could be Allah. It could be Buddha. Whoever it is for you, it is something that you want to make sure you are tuning in during this particular power time, where regardless if you practice the celebration of Father's Day, you can tap into that vortex of energy and intelligence and get the grace and blessings. So there are things that you can do to honor the Father. You can do your spiritual practices that will cleanse the body, the mind, the soul, heal those deep-seated issues or those deep-seated karmic effects that we're carrying over, and that represent sort of that sins of the father. So it is for real. We carry the genes that are inside of us. We've inherited it. And whether we know it or not, we've got to get rid of it. So there is a very powerful full moon coming up, and the sun is also in Gemini now. And Dr. Pillai teaches that the moon represents the mind, because it's the mind which causes the effect of this 3D or three-dimensional reality. According to both yogis and quantum physics, each moon phase supports a different kind of creative potential. And all of the 30 different moon phases in a month, the full moon is considered to be the most favorable time to create abundance, prosperity, health, wealth, and knowledge, blessings, expansion in all aspects of our lives, clearing up any congested negative energies associated with interpersonal relationships, such as that with perhaps the father or the lineage, including our siblings, our relatives that go beyond in that extended family, if you will. So at this time, the sun it will have moved into Gemini. And in Vedic astrology, Gemini is represented by both man and a woman. We talked about that last week in Power Time Practice. So you can review that recording and dive into how to honor the sun as it's transiting this sign of Gemini since about mid-June to mid-July. So this Gemini sign, it represents this dual nature, duality. And Dr. Pillai has revealed that the sun in Gemini carries the power to rewrite both the spiritual and material mindset. So Dr. Pillai is going to be delivering a special empowerment to help you actualize your experience of both spiritual and material abundance in this session 2 of, it's called Rewrite Your Material and Spiritual Mindset. It's a June 23rd full moon, the sun in Gemini. So you can check that out, where Dr. Pillai goes into this uh, spiritual technology where he will be live. So everything is in your hands, he says, and you need commitment. So what kind of commitment? Just show up, get his blessings, help you to understand what karmas that you're carrying, what karmas that you've inherited, whether you wanted to or not. Your genes, you share the genes of your lineage, your paternal lineage, or your father's side of the family, as well as the mother's side of the family. So it's something that a guru or a spiritual master, spiritual father will show you how to do to cleanse it, and then you won't have to carry the weight of it for this lifetime. It can be karma light versus dragging it, Samsonite luggage with you. So Dr. Pillai says he'll teach you the techniques of commitment during that program. And he goes on, I invite you, if you can afford to do it, since it's the last program that I plan to do, I invite you to join the program, and then know from there on after you can create a new destiny. So whatever you're destined to do, just like you would go on a road trip, and you would start from point A to point B. Now, along the way, you might find that you have to go on a detour, or you might find that you are getting stuck in a bunch of traffic, or that you have to delay altogether and spend a night somewhere. So all that can be life and experiences in life, but who wants to sit around and spend time, spend money, spend energy, spend your resources, so you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to come out of this any faster. So the guru and honoring the spiritual father will help you to find a way out. So this is one way to find out getting the blessings on a full moon, because the Tamil Siddha tradition that Dr. Pillai hails from will be pumping in these spiritual blessings like they do with every full moon. These spiritual guides will tell Dr. Pillai, okay, enough of your followers or the people who are following your teachings have shown up, and then we will really give them tremendous blessings to come out of their harms and hurdles. So it's like we have to reach a critical mass before some big shift happens. And it can be an evolutionary jump. So for those naysayers that, oh, nothing is going to happen, I've been doing my chanting, I've been doing my spiritual practices, my meditations, I've been joining courses, and I don't seem to find a way out. When the stars align and the moon aligns and the sun is aligned with these power times that are available for the guru's grace to come and say, all right, enough of us have shown up, so now this is when all the blessings can come. So we won't know until we try it out. And you're all invited, as Dr. Pillai said, come and do this now, because you will get blessings that you can't even fathom. And then your father will be blessed as well. So when the father is blessed, then all your spiritual practices take shape in a way that you couldn't do. So it's kind of like your return on investment becomes that much quicker. And it's all the blessings from perhaps the gurus or the spiritual masters who have gone before us, or the gods, the goddesses who are no more in the physical form. Then they will say, all right, it's time to really give them that return on their investment of time, money, energy, their spiritual practices, being a good person, doing charitable deeds, until you get the blessings from the father, the biological father, as well as the spiritual father. Then it will just continue to build and build and build. Down the road, someday you might get the return on your investments, but when you take the shortcut, which is to get the blessings during these power times, then you can reap the benefits sooner. So you're invited to do that. It's manifest the life you desire by erasing your karma and enriching your spiritual destiny. So there's also free community, Pillai Center community events. You can check that out. Most likely, Rod is going to be posting these links. So, especially during this global pandemic, and now we certainly don't know how it's going to roll out. And it's been over a year, it's almost a year and a half for us here in Toronto, Canada. And we just opened up to phase one of returning back to everyday life. And what that means, there's restrictions across the board. So we want to get to that phase where I don't even know how many phases there are until we can be operating freely as we were moving about. So until that happens, it can be really challenging. So we want to remove that burden of whatever is happening in our lives that is causing that COVID fatigue and that frustration and just the uncertainty. Will we ever have a quote unquote normal way of living? So, as Dr. Pillai has blessed us, the people who have been following his teachings throughout the whole year and a bit of COVID, we have been kind of tiptoeing over top of, if you will, this COVID dragging energy that a lot of people are being really weighed down by. So we're able to rise above it and just touch it lightly. So there are a lot of free community events that are coming up. We're going to be preparing for the great night of the Guru, which is the full moon in July. There are going to be some free webinars and YouTubes by the different Pillai Center teachers and also Dr. Pillai to share how important it is to connect with the Guru's grace during that full moon. So there will be lead up free calls every night starting July 1st and going right up until that full moon. So please check that out. Again, Radha is going to be posting all these links, so it's right there. And if you've not joined up for PowerTime practice and you're not receiving the newsletters, please do that, because all these links will be right in the newsletter. We don't know how long they're going to keep these links here during this live YouTube presentation. So there are Tuesdays, we have Atomic Dreaming with Swami Nivali. She's a Pillai Center teacher and also an Ashravad Vedic astrologer. And she uses the particular techniques from Dr. Pillai and the Tamil Siddha tradition to access powerful meditations that the Siddhas use to separate the mind from the body and get into this atomic dreaming state where you can see the reality beyond the physical manifestation and see what the steps you need to take to manifest that in your life, to bring it from other dimensions, those subtler or energetic realms, and feel it, see it in those realms, and then see it happening in your life, showing up in your life in a miraculous way. So those are Tuesdays you can join. Fridays, there's Stream Brazil Global Community Chanting with Donna Davey. And that is, the Atomic Dreaming is at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And that is converts to 1:30 a.m. UTC or 7 a.m. IST on Wednesdays. So Tuesday nights here in the West, and then Wednesday mornings in the East. So that's on Tuesdays with Swami Nivali. And then we have Fridays with Donna Davey, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. UTC, 8:30 p.m. IST on Saturdays. So Fridays Eastern, here in the West, and then Saturdays in the morning and in the evening on the East. So Shrimbrazi, what is that? It's a sound that represents abundance, creates prosperity consciousness. So we can't just think thoughts. Oh, this is what I want. This is what I want to manifest. This is how much money I want to have in the bank, or this is how much money I want to make or have come to me. We have to create that consciousness inside of us first. So the yogic and the modern science agrees that it's more powerful when we meditate in groups. And it's been shown to multiply the benefits of meditation, not only for the participants individually, but for the entire world. So you can join Donna Davey and chant, use the sounds, Shrim Brazi, and chant along either internally or out loud, or just listen to it. And it's super easy to do. And you will feel that abundance consciousness manifesting whatever it is that you want inside of you first, and you feeling, yes, this is going to happen, and then it manifests outside. And then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11, 12, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. UTC, or 10:30 p.m. IST, India Standard Time, the Religion of Religions YouTube channel, Dr. Pillai has asked Donna Devi to put together the meaning of the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. Is a chanting session. Again, you can chant it out loud, or you can chant it internally. You can just listen and learn, not at a memorizing kind of way. Oh, yes, I know the Lord's Prayer in Aramaic. It's actually the energy of Jesus coming alive inside of you, and the Holy Spirit waking up that consciousness inside of you. It's already in us. It's our birthright. We have inherited that spiritually and through the lineage as well. So we want to express it energetically and feel it. So we'll feel the collective group energy and receive the blessings of Jesus and the Holy Spirit. So again, a way to honor the Father or the forefathers, whether it's biologically through the lineage, the gene pool that we inherited, but also through our spiritual lineage, the forefathers. And then here we have Saturday PowerTime practice here on Saturday evenings. And then you can also download a meditation. It's a 5-minute meditation. It's inspiration meditation audios, spiritual help for coronavirus with Mohini, who gives the short, simple 5-minute summaries of Dr. Pillai's latest teachings to help people deal with coronavirus spiritually. And then you can get the insights of Dr. Pillai and his practice as well. You can share it with your family and friends. It's only 5 minutes. So we also have Pillai Center communities on Facebook that you can join. So check it out. And then these are all free. So you can honor the sun, which represents your soul, as it's moving through the sign of Gemini. And then with the sun representing the Father and the forefathers, and also the soul's inheritance. So the biological inheritance that you receive. So the kind of the blessings of the Father, and also the not so good blessings or the sins of the Father. It's all blessings because we learn from it. We don't want to drag out the negativity. So we see, oh my goodness, that's the mistake. Now I don't want to repeat that. So what do I do? So the light gets shed. And it's not in an intellectual way, it's at the soul's level. So once the lesson is learned, hey, the soul shines in a whole new level, and it throws light on a new way of being. And then the spiritual master, Dr. Pillai, will help us to guide our lives and the lives of our siblings or our kids or anyone in our family, whether they are on a spiritual path or not. That light will pour out pour out through all of us, because we share the genes. So we don't necessarily have to be right next to them when whatever spiritual practice we do with the blessings that come from the spiritual father. And then when we honor our fathers, whether our fathers are alive, whether we know them, whether we are near or dear or not so near or dear to them, whether we have had estranged relationships, whether they are passed away, so they're no more in the physical body, they're dead, and they become our ancestors, we can still get their blessings. So doing Tarpanam, participating in rituals that will honor the ancestors' lineage. Maybe you'll check out Pillai Center or Ashraved and participate in the year-long programs that are honoring the ancestors. That really helps as well. So we have to get the blessings of the ancestors. We have to get the blessings of our fathers or forefathers, both biologically and spiritually, and then we will be able to really move quickly through our life, manifesting that much sooner and more abundantly with grace and ease. So this June 20th, which is in Eastern time, here in Toronto, Canada, is it's Sunday, and it is Father's Day. It's also the summer solstice. So this is a big power time for the sun to really beam in an intelligence from the cosmos, and then help us to honor and bless and purify our souls, so our souls will be filled with joy, filled with happiness, growth. Be that authority figure in your life, and honor all authority figures in your life, and get rid of all the challenges that you may be carrying, bitterness or frustration or anger, oh my goodness, sadness, depression, it's associated with memories that you can't seem to shake of the past problems or challenges. And then when that happens, you will experience this fulfillment of releasing, purifying, burning, if you will, the karma that you couldn't ever seem to work out, maybe through therapy or whatever you've done up until this point, spiritually speaking, and as well taking the steps to better your life in a practical way. Ekadashi is associated with Lord Vishnu's energy, and Vishnu fulfills our wishes. So you can ask for his grace and blessings as well. And he's also considered, as Dr. Pillai says, the money god. He's also the party god of heaven. And he will ask the ancestors to come into the heavenly realms, because you, me, everyone here, the descendants, are doing spiritual practices on a day where it's going to be honoring Lord Vishnu. So we're going to get into a meditations in a few minutes, where we will honor all these beautiful beings. So they're non-physical beings, they're in the spiritual realm, and all we need to do is align with them. So have a divine Wi-Fi connection, if you will. And then we'll be able to tune in to the grace and blessings. And once we do that, we just fill up, and then we will have done what it is to honor the Father. So whether the Father is here in the physical realm, whether you have a good relationship or not so good relationship or terrible relationship, all that will be washed away. Because spiritually, you can do things so much faster without thought. It's done at the soul level. And when the soul is fulfilled, it shines through you. It's our birthright to make that soul expand and grow beyond this physical form called our body, and then get into the different realms. So we have these different aspects of our being: mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. We have astral bodies, energy bodies. We're multi-dimensional or multi-aspected beings. And we're trying to align ourselves so we'll be still and know that we are God. And so this is a really great weekend to do that. And if you can, participate in the paid services or free services from this point and thereafter in this next 30 days. Wow, you're going to get a lot of blessings, and you may even heal a relationship with your father. Maybe you can write a letter to your father, or you could perhaps call him up or text him or WhatsApp or instant message or whatever it is that you could do, email even. Now, some people may feel like, oh, I can't, I'm not at that level of forgiveness. Then maybe just writing it out on a piece of paper, write a letter and ask for forgiveness, and forgive yourself, forgive him at the level of the soul. Remember, this is beyond the emotions, beyond the mind. Do it at the level of the soul. Go soul to soul. And then you could maybe burn that letter, or you could mail it, and that would be fine too, or text or email, whatever. Keep it in your draft folder and see who you are in the coming days. And as this month rolls out, and maybe your soul will be ready to let go and ready to go beyond whatever the past has been and heal that relationship. So Dr. Pillai says it's always important, no matter what, to do your spiritual practices to get as much done as you can while you're still in the body. Because once we die, which is the end point of life, so we every lifetime we have a birth, that's the beginning. We have a death, that's the end, and everything in between is, well, we already know. It's the story of our life. And it can be tumultuous, it can be joyous, it can be sad, it can be happy, and it can be a mix of everything. And it can be tormenting us until that time where we can't sustain this physical form, and then we carry those memories. So start to erase it. And it doesn't matter when you start, because this soul doesn't know time as it is here on the earth plane. There are power times, as we're talking about now, doors that open up and a flood of energy, a flood of divine blessings comes through and allows us to reap the benefits of all our spiritual practices, to get the blessings, in this case, from our Father ahead of time. And then when this next month rolls out, and we get into July, where we're honoring our spiritual father during Guru Purnima, and we've had all these daily chanting calls that we can join the global community. I think those are at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and then 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And that is going to be starting on July 1st and going right up until Guru Purnima, which is this year. I'm just going to flip my calendar. The full moon is going to be on the 23rd, it looks like. And that's a Friday. Oh, wow, that's a powerful time. So we have about 30 days to really get into the grace, the blessings, the cleansing, the soul, which is the Father. That is how we come into this earth plane, through the Father. Without the Father sharing that Y chromosome, we wouldn't be here. So we really need to go beyond what we have experienced and get those blessings, fill ourselves up with spiritual blessings to cleanse the sins of the Father, cleanse the sins. And sin is not like a moral issue, although it could be. It's more, we missed the mark. It's a mistake that we made, and we can't seem to find a way out to feel better, to heal it. We don't know what to say. So working away at it at this time of the year, you won't have to do it month after month after month. You can get a lot of blessings, and it can be done during this power time. So that's what I wanted to share as far as the sun, how powerful it is, what it represents, and how when we do our spiritual practices, then we will accelerate that cleansing of the old ways and whatever we've inherited from the lineage that we come from the paternal lineage, and then also the spiritual lineage. So our spiritual fathers or forefathers. So we want to get as much as we can done in this lifetime. And it doesn't matter what age and stage you are, you will be cleansed. And this is the way to do it. So somehow you stumble across Dr. Pillai's teachings. Perhaps you were a student of his in previous lifetimes, like we were, or many of us are over the years. And then we know, oh my goodness, this is how I can clean up the karmas. It's really important to honor those who are really in need, especially during COVID times, lockdown times, where people are in isolation more so than ever. And so think about being charitable with your time, your resources, your money, and so on. You can check out Tripura Foundation. That's a great way to honor those who are suffering and struggling. And you will get the blessings of your forefathers, because maybe they didn't or weren't charitable. So you get to do that in their honor. So that's a great way to honor the ancestors. Tarpanam, year-long programs, or there are various ways in which you can participate in Tarpanam, which is the ancestral offering to cleanse the lineage. So check all those out and see what resonates with you if you would like to connect with the Father and get things happening so much faster. And so you can manifest so much faster. So that's what it is. There are a bunch of other things that are going on at Pillai Center and Astromed. Go on to specials. That's always a great way to get a quick overview and see what resonates with you. If you get an astrology consultation, you can find out how to heal your relationship with your father. If you have a naughty astrology consultation, oh my goodness, you will be so surprised about your life and why you chose this lineage and why you chose these particular parents and what karmas you need to pay back to get the blessings from them sooner than later through the remedies. So those are a few different ways. And now what we'll do is we will honor the soul's energy, your father's energy, if you will, inside of yourself. Connect with the sun that also represents the father's energy. And then this dualistic kind of energy where the sun now is transiting through Gemini, it's making us to look at, there's a male with a club and a female with a harp. So what are our choice of thoughts as we dive into a meditation and we see the thoughts or we feel the thoughts or some energy that's coming up? If it's joy and harmonious and happy for no reason, perhaps we are aligning with the female and the harp symbol of Gemini. And then there can be the harsh energies coming up where you have that masculine, more aggressive or assertive energy coming, more a power that comes over you that says, all right, you can just take that club and bash that negativity out of you. Not that you're going to be doing it, but as we tune in to the sun transiting Gemini, that is something that might be going on, and it could be confusing. Why do I feel joy and all the rest of the stuff going on? So how we come out of these harms and hurdles or reconcile with these two polar opposites. So the musical happiness, harmonious aspect of being joyous for no reason, and then this kind of pounding and aggressive and empowering. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but it's like a harsher energy coming up. And then those thoughts that come up, you can choose. All right, just float away like a happy cloud, or you can be bashing it with the club. So we're going to honor the sun. We're going to honor the father. We're going to honor this energy of Ekadashi, which is happening tomorrow here in Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And that's representing this Lord Vishnu, and he loves to give you money miracles. So sometimes, even if your father is alive and you think, oh, there's no inheritance for me. Sometimes getting the blessings of the father and inheritance can come out of nowhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be part of your gene pool. It could be someone who is like a father figure and they don't have children, and all of a sudden you're inheriting something. So that's how it can be. You can receive the blessings as well. We'll honor Dr. Pillai with an avatar arti, which is offering a ghee lamp. And I'm going to be coming out of this camera view, and you'll just be gazing at the altar behind me, which you can see Dr. Pillai, and getting his grace and blessings. If your eyes are closed, that's fine. If you want to open them, you can as well. But then gazing at the image of Dr. Pillai, it's an empowered statue. It has his grace and blessings pouring through. So you will get that spiritual darshan, that awakening perhaps, or empowerment, feel that empowerment coming through as we honor his avatar here on the earth plane, coming in the physical form, and then getting us prepared for Guru Purnima, meaning getting ready for this next month ahead in the full moon in July. From full moon in June to full moon in July is a really powerful time once a year to get tremendous blessings. So we have to prepare our bodies, our minds, our souls. Otherwise, we can't handle all that energy coming all at once. So I'm going to be going off to the side, and then you're going to be getting an up close and personal view of Dr. Pillai. And then I'll come back afterwards and we'll get some grace and blessings in a discussion. So you can have your eyes open or you can close your eyes. You can open and close your eyes as you wish throughout. I'll be guiding you through a meditation. Of course, it's through the grace and blessings of Dr. Pillai. You'll receive the empowerments. There we go. So your eyes are closed. You're putting your attention internally. So what does that mean? Well, bring your awareness down into the base of your spine, the tailbone area, maybe even into the legs. And we're going to experience the grace and blessings of Ganesha, whose energy will unlock the Kundalini, this intelligence that is at the base of the spine, and it will awaken all the chakras and cleanse your body, mind, and soul. So imagine a reddish orangish light pouring down your legs into your feet and toes. If you can't see the light, you can imagine it. You know what reddish orange looks like. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Now visualize a ray of light shooting up your backbone, piercing your chakras. The psycho-spiritual centers getting into your brain, and then this light goes up through the top of your skull and into the space like a divine Wi-Fi signal. Going up and up and up. Your focus is out of your body into the space. Now we're going to awaken the chakras. starting at the base of the spine. Feel it. Now move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat. Clear the throat. The karma gets stuck in the throat. Move up to the middle of your brain, the third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine, the legs, the feet. Connect with the earth element. Na, 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 na. Move up into the navel, the belly. Fill it with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Also down the arms and hands. Connect with the fire element. She, 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 she. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or the prana, subtle air. Va, 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 va. Move up to the two eyes. Keep your eyeballs steady and still. The right and left brain. Connect with the ether or Akash space. Ya, 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 ya. Now, move into the third eye in the middle of your forehead and imagine going deep into the middle of your brain, activating the pituitary, the pineal, the third eye. Your energy is going inward. Visualize the sun. It expands and fills your entire brain. It expands even more and fills your entire body. Feel the rays of light shooting out as it has expanded your soul. The sun illuminates the soul. It fills it up. The rays are going out in all directions. You disappear and the sun remains. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Connect with the middle of your brain. The sun explodes in the brain. The body lights up. The rays of light are shooting out beyond the body in all directions. You become the sun. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Keep connecting with this solar energy, filling your soul, your body, your mind, beyond. You are the sun. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuvasvaha Tat Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. Connect with the sun. See the sun, imagine the sun, feel the heat of the sun purifying the soul, expanding beyond the body, the mind, the rays shooting out in all directions. Om Suryaya Namaha. Surya is the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. 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 Reconnect with the sun's rays, the image of the sun, your body disappearing, and only the sun is there. Chant out loud or internally, or just listen. Om Suryaya Namaha. 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 The sun represents the Father. Cleanse the sins or mistakes of the Father, the lineage, the paternal lineage, the Father's lineage. Cleanse your genes, cleanse all the memories that are no longer serving you, and illuminate the ones that are so super positive and happy, joyous. Om Suryaya Namaha. 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 Connect with the sun, the soul, the Father. And move into your heart. Imagine a beautiful blue being, Lord Vishnu, who cleanses your soul so you can receive money miracles, unexpected inheritances, or something that will help you to experience joy and happiness in your material and spiritual pursuits. He fulfills your wishes, your heart's desires. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Now inside your heart, next to Lord Vishnu, his consort, the goddess Shrimrzi, appears in a golden, pink, dazzling light, radiating abundance through your whole body, making your heart to sing with joy and happiness, health and well-being. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Feel your heart becoming lighter, feeling abundant, feeling joy. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Shrim Brzee. Internalize the sound vibrations, the light waves expanding in your heart and beyond. And now you can slowly open your eyes gently so that you're gazing into the image of Dr. Pillai. And we'll do the avatar arti. Om Aim Reem Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. Om Aim Hrim Sarvalokaya Adityaya Shiva Satguru Bhavaya Swaha. You can be gazing into the light and imagine burning all the karmas that are no longer serving you. Asking for the spiritual Father's grace and blessings. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And close your eyes. Feel the blessings that have come into you, the energy, the grace, the healing. Pray for whatever it is that you want help manifesting. Pray for those who need it the most. And slowly, slowly come back to yourselves. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. So thank you, everyone, for joining. This is the end of the practice today. You're welcome to stay and share your experiences on the chat or ask your questions. If they haven't been answered by Radha on the chat, then I definitely will do my best to help out. So just checking out the chat here. Twachan is saying here, thank you very much to Dr. Pillai and Suchita. That's very lovely. Thank you. The attitude of gratitude really is amazing in that no matter what has gone on in our lives, it's so important to be thankful because we're learning. We're here on the earth plane to learn about why we are in certain situations and what the heck is going on. And not only that, is to find a way out. And the spiritual path is a very well lit or illuminated path. So you can easily take one step at a time, or you can run along it, you can fly along it. It's all lit up. So having the grace and blessings of the spiritual father or the master will help us to learn those lessons quickly and come out of the harms and hurdles, have those experiences, be satisfied that, okay, that's it, I'm done. I don't need to experience that anymore, that tough lesson anymore. I get it. And we can move on without any guilt, without any, negative congested energies caused from anger, depression, bitterness, and so on. Inability to forgive is a big one. So these power times that come up, they remind us, okay, once a year, this is where I can get a lot of blessings, a lot of karma erased or diffused, if you will, or blown up. Some people like to have that experience of it being blown up or burnt, that heat of it. Then they feel like, yes, I have had that experience of it burning away or washing away, cleansing my body, my mind, my soul. And then your manifestations can be that much more fulfilling and rewarding and come a lot faster. So Rigo is saying powerful meditation, thanks to Dr. Pillai. Exactly. That's what it is. I'm here to be of service and support, open my mouth and do the thing that Dr. Pillai has asked me to do, which is to share the teachings with everyone. And I know that it is not me, definitely not. It is something that I've been working on for many lifetimes. And I know that, wow, I've got to be doing this service to feel the fullness of that experience. So I'm grateful to all of you because it gives me the opportunity to do something that is going to be helping individuals as well as this community. And then collectively, because we're touching base virtually from all points of the world, and that is creating a network where we can ask, we can appeal to the divine, come in to the earth plane and do something for the whole world and all of humanity. So we never know what these meditations, these practices, even talking about spiritual tools that we can use, or why these events are happening in the cosmos, and how to connect with these celestial energies and illuminate, light up our body, our mind, our soul, fulfill our soul's purpose in this lifetime, and do it not only, again, on an individual level, we can go beyond and then do something for all of humanity. So Dr. Pillai always says, you don't know what you just did. So thanks for showing up, and I'm glad to hear that you're experiencing the energy. Famia saying here, thank you for the energy of the sun. The chant Om Suryaya Namaha removed the unharmonious, sad energy I'm feeling. Thank you very much again. Well, this is what it is. We don't even know what we're feeling inside until our soul says, hello, throws a bunch of light on it and says, come on, don't you want this to go away now? And then the magic words or the mantras or the secret, the keys that unlock the secret of the soul, such as at this point in time, is the sun. So just saying the sun's name, Surya, or the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhurabhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yo Na Prachodayat. When you say that or listen to it, it's a big mouthful and it takes a bit to learn it, but you can listen to it on the YouTube. Dr. Pillai has lots of different YouTubes that you can listen to in his voice, chanting the mantras, and then feeling that connection to the sun, the S-U-N, to the Father, who is why we're here, to get rid of the sins, the mistakes, that lineage, the challenges of the lineage. Just look in the generations and look to see where the problems are. Maybe there are health issues. Maybe there are money issues or financial issues, business, or you can't get a promotion no matter what you do. There is always someone stopping you. We need the blessings of the Father, whether the Father whether we have a good relationship with the Father and he's still here in the physical form, or on other planes, as Dr. Pillai has shared, through the Tarpanum, the ancestral offering if he's passed away. That is going to clean up the lineage so that you will be promoted. You will feel this energy of success. That's what the sun represents. It's the big light in the sky that all the planets orbit, move around. They rotate around the sun, including us, the planet Earth, and all the rest of the planets, and then get these blessings, because we're just going around and round this big ball of fire. But it's not just physical, it's a purification. That's what it represents, our soul. So it gives us solar power and energy, makes everything to grow. Without the sun, we wouldn't even have an earth plane. It would just be like a cold, dark place. So we get the intelligence. The sun also represents intelligence. It represents authority. It represents high self-esteem. So if you're feeling sad or angry or upset, you feel low energy, low self-esteem, low self-worth. So how can we get that blessing is through honoring the spiritual connection to the Father at the level of the soul. Done. So Ashish is saying, thanks, grateful. Sometimes other thoughts come up while doing this, and then again, try to concentrate. And so that's what happens too, is that, as we mentioned, now that the sun is transiting the sign of Gemini, you're going to be more aware of that. Really happy and joyous and blissful thoughts are coming up, and you're in a zone, and all of a sudden, bonk, you're out of harmony. You're not enjoying the music of the mantra or the meditation or your spiritual practice or the bliss, the energy, the floaty type of experience, the clarity of thought. You feel like, oh my God, what just hit me? So that's the polar opposite of what Gemini represents as well. Now, having said that, when those dark energies or thoughts come up and they try to distract us, it's like a gray cloud. So you can imagine, as Dr. Pillai says, and as all the masters do, the thoughts are like clouds. Choose the one. Do you want a floaty cloud, fun and fluffy, cotton-like, dreamy cloud, or do you want to hang out in a rain-filled, thunder-filled, dark cloud, melancholic cloud, angry cloud? So it's a matter of you choosing. So when we get to select the type of thoughts where, okay, we note to self, there is that dark cloud, but it doesn't mean that your life is going to be stormy unless you keep focusing on that. And you manifest what you keep focusing on. So you can imagine these light, fluffy clouds on a blue sky, or you completely have a clear blue sky and everything is wonderful. The sun is shining. So it's going to come up, and then you don't even have to know what those thoughts are, but the quality will get diffused as you do your spiritual practices. So whatever we commit to fulfilling this soul, this solar energy, this solar power inside of us, and we do it at these power times where we have a direct divine Wi-Fi connection. So everything is coming up. It's all in this space of purification. So you just note to self, there it is, and then allow it to be washed away, cleansed away, zapped away, diffused away, blown up. It's all good. So this month is going to be that kind of good, bad, right, wrong, the polar opposites, but we get to choose. So you can choose those more positive thoughts or more positive experiences. And again, even if they are dark energies or memories, you can say, thank God it came up to my attention because I didn't know that I was still hanging on to it. And then doing your spiritual practice, chanting the mantra of the sun, Om Suryaya Namaha, or again, the Gayatri mantra, listening to it, listening to Dr. Pillai chanting it, free YouTubes, you will get the blessings to remove the karma, the sins of the Father. So Johnny is saying here, bust a coconut, offered it to my ancestors, prayed Tirnilakantam, Ganapataye, Ganesha, Swaha. So these are all what Johnny is sharing, and some people do on the chat here, which is fabulous, what their practice is. So if that resonates with you, do it. Or just reading about it is inspiring, that someone here in our community is doing all that, and then they are bringing the energy of the divine into the earth plane. So it's not about comparisons. It's about your soul knowing what to do and when to do it and how to do it. And that's what you can get. So Faraz is saying, I did today's practice under the rays of the morning sun over here. Faraz is in India. Lots of pranic absorption, the Gayatri Mantra, Om Suryaya Namaha, glory to our spiritual father, Dr. Pillai. And it is glory to the sun when we just immerse in the sun. And that's what a guru does, a spiritual father does, is they contain that energy of the sun that is beyond them, beyond what we can ever imagine. It's like a big power source, like millions of suns. So their physical form is resonating with that spiritual energy, the solar energy, the power, and we can just tap into it with a meditation or a mantra or coming together as a global community. We can experience that awakening or upliftment through the soul's connection, tapping into this solar energy of Dr. Pillai, and then having that experience, and then growing that experience. So go away from this call today and read about the importance of the sun. Astroved and Pillai Center have fabulous blogs. There are also YouTubes that Dr. Pillai talks about the importance of the sun. This is the month. So you really want to get ready for when the sun is going to be transiting into the next sign, and also this full moon coming up to the full moon in July, the full moon of the Guru. So Guru means dispeller of darkness. And I'm not sure if I mentioned about Jupiter going retrograde, Saturn's going retrograde. So Jupiter and Saturn are planets that deliver dharma, Jupiter, and karma, Saturn. So we want to get rid of as much of the challenges as possible, learn the lessons, but then not have to be dragged down by any of it or distracted. Even if it's fabulous, we can go away from our spiritual practice and then we feel really drained, and all of a sudden we come out of that fun and all the fun in the sun maybe, and we haven't done our spiritual practices, and then we thought, oh my goodness, it's like when you work out and you stop working out, it takes a little bit to get back, but once you do, then you're back on track. So that solar energy will always guide you when enough is enough. Don't indulge too much either way. Just like you wouldn't indulge in staying in or standing or lying in the sun for too long, you'll get sunstroke, and that can be deadly. So make sure that when you're honoring the sun, Froza is saying, meditating under the sun always uplifts my spirits. Whenever there is a low, I find the best is to soak the positivity of the sun. So we do it in moderation, and we do it. We can be in the sunlight. So out of the direct sunlight, you can be just looking at the rays of the sun as it's shining in the room and where you are, or maybe if you're outside, maybe you're in the shade and you see the sunlight. And just honoring those rays of sun's light, maybe saying the mantras a few times, feeling the sun expanding, you disappearing, imagine yourself disappearing. That's going to do you a world of good. So, and it gives you health. So the sun also gives you a tremendous amount of health energy, so healing energy. And then you will feel it. Maybe there will be body parts that start to irritate you or agitate you, or like someone was sharing here, the thoughts are coming out like dark clouds. So the sun is always shining behind the dark cloud. So you can imagine the sun bursting that cloud, and it gets dispersed. And then there is the sun. Here comes the sun. So, feeling the sun's energy, the healing energy can bring up pain, because pain is a good indicator of what is like a cloud, a dark cloud. The sun is behind there. So we want to keep saying to the sun, okay, heal that body part. And then also heal the mind, bring in more positivity, bring in optimism. So Jupiter is guru, dispeller of darkness. That's what the sun does. It gets rid of the darkness as well. And then preparing us for Guru Purnima next month, the full moon, where our mind will be aligned. The sun will be telling us, okay, come on, get into balance, get ready, fill your soul up, get filled to the brim, and let it pour over, let your cup runneth over. So a few more people are sharing their gratitude. That's beautiful. You can read that on the chat. People are sharing about their experiences with the Father, and sometimes it's not so fabulous. In fact, it's outright painful. I can relate to that. My own experience has been a very tumultuous and rather painful upbringing. However, I'm happy to say that I just saw my father, who is now turning 90 in a few months, and he's having some heart issues. So it's interesting that the heart also represents, the cardiovascular system also is represented by the sun. So just traveling 4 hours, it took me to drive down there with a couple of my siblings. And we had a joyous time. None of the memories came up. We had a lovely meal. My father was happy, although he's elderly and he's a little bit out of breath because of the cardiac issues. Everything was joy. That's all we committed to. And it wasn't fake it till you make it. It was actually, wow, I can't believe this is such an amazing time. And then his wife had texted us when we left, that he was rather emotional about the meeting, and he was relieved that no pain and suffering or memories of the past were even brought up. And I was like, pinch me, how did this happen? It was so lovely. So please don't be discouraged, even if you had the world's worst relationship, that I felt that we did, my siblings did as well. Like, we just erased all that. It couldn't even register in us. Even if a thought came, it was like a dark cloud, just got dispersed right away. So, and many people who have been studying with Dr. Pillai, doing the Tarpanam, I really, really recommend that. A year-long Tarpanam program. If you try that out, they're honoring your ancestors. They're cleansing the sins that you see in your life, the financial problems, the relationship problems, divorce, problems with children, problems with siblings, problems with extended family members, problems with real estate, property. You think, what has that got to do with anything? But it can be that maybe somewhere in your lineage, someone cheated someone, and then they cursed your lineage, so that you would always have struggles with real estate, or you would lose out, or you would never own your own house or apartment or condo or whatever. And you couldn't see that ever happening for your kids. That gets erased. So we must honor our ancestors, even the gods, the saints, the sages, the siddhas, the spiritual masters have to come to the earth plane during these power times, like Father's Day, or like the full moon, or when the sun is really bright. It's long as a summer solstice. It's a power time to get a lot of karma cleansed. So they come in their spiritual bodies, their solar bodies, and then they come to the earth plane because it's the place to get the remedies done, to honor the ancestors and finish those sins. So as you go along in life, again, what are we here every lifetime to do is clean up as much karmas as we can, as much sins of the forefathers as we can, such that as we go along, it becomes lighter and happier. And then by the end, you may go back to the sun, that actual soul or celestial body, and merge with the sun. And then everything is done. Or you may come back in another lifetime and be a spiritually evolved being, help out. And that's a lot more fun perhaps for some, to experience joy and happiness and bliss throughout the life, and then pour that or radiate that out into the earth plane and all the inhabitants. So Radha has posted Pillai Center Practice, the yellow banner here on the chat. She's posted all the links so you can join the full moon, June 23rd, full moon live program with Dr. Pillai, Manifest Your 200% Life program. Go read about that. Someone has asked, will Dr. Pillai in the coming times hold in-person events? Who's holding any in-person events anywhere? COVID is not allowing us to do that. And Dr. Pillai is pretty much staying put where he is. So we don't know what his schedule is. Even if we could move out and about the world with a lot more freedom as we have in the past, we don't know what his schedule is. So that's how I can answer that question. Experienced. So Elizabeth is saying here, I love this program and all of you, familiar names and shared energy with Dr. Pillai's blessings and grace. Big karma in here. So right before the full moon, there's always a 13th moon, and that's a good moon to get rid of karma. So that's coming up as well, right before that. So Pillai Center Practice, Radha has also posted the link for you to sign up for the free community events. PowerTime Practice, Atomic Dreaming, Shreem Razi, My Lodge Prayer. And also there are going to be daily chanting calls that a bunch of us Pillai Center teachers are going to be hosting various nights. So come and join that. It's free. Why not? And then we will be preparing ourselves to receive the blessings of the Guru, our spiritual father, so that when we plug into that big sun or solar energy, we'll be prepared to do it. We'll have that experience of it, the heat, the transmission of that spiritual energy, or darshan in Sanskrit, and then the cleansing of our body, our mind, our soul. So you vibrate with the energy and you don't feel like all the agitation that can be intense. So we're going to work away at it, cleanse it every night. And even if you can't join live, then the recordings will be on the Pillai Center Practice YouTube. You can watch that recording depending on where you are in the world at any time until the next night. So then you can go back too. Some people said, oh, I missed 2 or 3 days in a row. And then I went and listened to those 2 or 3 day meditations. They just fast forward it to the chanting or meditation practice and then got caught up. So fill yourself up. This is a spiritual invitation to fill your soul, your body, your mind with this energy, and then prepare yourself to receive abundance and during that one time of the year to get the most blessings from Dr. Pillai, from the Siddha tradition that he hails from, the Tamil Siddha tradition that he hails from all the gods, all the goddesses. That's the vortex opens up, the party has started, and you're ready to enjoy. So lots of blessings that people are sharing, powerful meditation, things come up again. That's what happens. So Florence is saying, my father was Native American Indian. He prayed to the sun god. He could tell you what time of the day it was by the position of the sun. She goes on to say, she's talking about someone else. So even if you think that you have the worst relationship with the father at the level of the soul, you guys said, hey, I'm going to come through this lineage and I'm going to get on a spiritual path and I'm going to go through harms and hurdles to keep me on the spiritual path. I always thank my father for showing me that the world is the way it is, even through coronavirus. We don't even know this pandemic, what's going to happen. But through all the challenges that we faced as kids growing up and then struggling as young adults and, middle age. And now, we're getting into, I'm 60 now. and my siblings are in their 50s and 60s. And we look back and we say, if we didn't choose all this Father to show us how to navigate in the world and give us courage and strength and independence, so not having him to rely on was actually a blessing. And to know that we have to go to our spiritual paths. We all have different spiritual paths. There's 6 of us. And it's kind of amazing. No one says too much about their spiritual path, but everyone references God or nature or the divine. There is a higher power that went beyond what we were exposed to or what we were taught to go to, because we didn't have a role model. So we always thank the Father and we say, thank you so much, because we wouldn't be who we are. We wouldn't get on a spiritual path had we not gone through tremendous challenges or continue to try to figure it out for ourselves. So when people say I'm suffering because of the Father, I invite you to turn it around and say, the suffering is there, so you will turn to your spiritual path and get on a path and get your spiritual Father or whoever that is. Maybe it's nature. It doesn't matter. There's a higher power. And then because you came through this lineage and that's what the lineage wants you to do, then you just honor it. And then in honoring it, you heal the relationship. Maybe not the past, which we never can, because we can't go back to the past, but the energy, the memories won't have that supercharge of pain and suffering. It will be there to alert you, just like a red light is, hey, stop, look both ways. Are you going to go into the intersection and get hit and do it again? Or are you going to decide, okay, I'm done? And then as the light turns green, green is go, green is for the money, and enjoy your blessings. So I think we'll wrap up now that people have posted. There are no questions here. Please, again, check out Pillai Center, check out Astrovet, everything we've talked about here. And you will find that there are so many free things that you can do to keep doing your spiritual practices, fill your soul up, connect with the sun's energy as it's really strong. And now to get those karmas cleansed, and then feel that high self-esteem, feel that growth, that courage, that bravery. The sun is the sign, or the planet, or that planetary being that says, hey, I'm the king. So feel that royalty consciousness, regardless of your gender. And then you will experience that upliftment of your soul. And that's what we're here to do, is make sure that we're always going to the highest. The highest is the easiest. It's the fastest. It's the best. It is the most intense. However, it gets done. So Johnny's saying, Sucharita, you look good for your age. Thank you. That's the solar energy. That's the blessings. I always say it's the blessings of Dr. Pillai pouring through, because that's what it's all about. We start to glow, and it's regardless of what our age is. We can be dull as a young person, or we can be dull as any age. But having the blessings of the spiritual master cranks up the solar power. You're connected to that solar powerhouse, the power source at any time. And how? It's through the mantras, it's through the practices, it's through you showing up. So please do that. Dr. Pillai is virtually available during the times that we talked about, and hopefully you will join those free calls that are going to be happening daily from July 1st up until the full moon of the Guru. Also, there are lots of things to do on the full moon, and we've talked about that before, but Shrimbrazi is another powerful mantra that will help you to experience abundance, joy, grace, a little piece of heaven on earth. So thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for participating. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of you and all of your fathers and all fathers around the world and on other planes as well. And enjoy the sun. See you next week. Namaste.